Hello friends, Ginny here. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope that you enjoyed a nice holiday if you celebrate Easter. We did take a break last week and we had a little road trip. We went out to Kansas to spend some time with Army son and his wife. It was such a very nice trip. The weather was beautiful and we had a lot of family adventures, so that was such a special time for me. One of the activities that I always enjoy doing is going to Hobby Lobby. Now my daughter-in-law Lexi will take me, part of a tradition that we have. We also get milkshakes, so that's another thing that I look forward to. But we don't have a Hobby Lobby near where I live, so I don't get to go very often. I know Tech Hubby would take me, but I also know that he would really not like to be there, so I do feel like I have to rush, and I would rather go down all the aisles and see all the things, and so I think it's just more fun when I go with my daughter-in-law. So the main thing I was hoping to find was some of the items that I'll be using in our upcoming 12 Days of Christmas in July series, which is coming up very soon in starting to plan the projects and get all the supplies that I need. And I was hoping to find quite a lot of the basics that I would want to have. And I remember in years past, I have found items during this season, but it didn't occur to me till we were there and not finding a lot that Easter really did fall quite a bit early in the month this year. So it is likely they'll have more variety to look at in just a few weeks. But I did pick up a couple things and I thought I would share them here with you. And so it's mainly just some paper pads, and then my daughter-in-law found a display of dies that they had, and they were clearance. So I thought I would pick up some of those. So while we were looking, we did find a couple of paper pads. I don't think that Hobby Lobby carries designer collections like they used to. I think they just have Paper Studio now. That's what we found anyway. And since I'm no expert, I believe that is what they're carrying. But I did find a couple that I really liked, and so I just wanted to share those here. So this one is a little bit whimsical. It has a very sort of traditional color palette, and this is all single-sided paper. It was $12.99, but it was 40% off, so I thought that was a good value. I just want to flip through here real quick and show you some of the variety of the patterns. Even though this is single-sided, it has a good print quality and the images are nice and crisp. This one kind of reminds me of a Minte collection that I have in previous series, so I'll definitely look forward to this. And for this paper pad, it's 80 sheets but 20 designs. So if you're doing a project where you need the same pattern on multiple pages, or you're doing some batch creating, I think this would be very helpful. You wouldn't be getting 4 of each pattern in a design collection. Like if you got Simple Stories or Cartabella, you would only be getting 2. So I think this is a great way to consider a larger project or a batch project. And this is a little bit thinner for this particular paper pad. Isn't that one cute? So I think if you were doing maybe a traveler's notebook or something where you're adding a lot of pages and not hoping for a lot of bulk, this would definitely work really well. And it does have a couple of more whimsical images in here. Some of them are on a lighter background, so I think you could very easily fussy cut them out to create some kind of ephemera. And there's a nice combination of geometrics or kind of smaller all over patterns like this one, and the colors, like I said, are nice and bright. This is on a white background as well, so if you were making cards, maybe you could fussy cut around that and get images for quite a few cards from just this one sheet. But remember that you have 4. So this was the first one that I picked up. This one is a little bit thicker quality. There's only 60 sheets in that of 20 designs, so you're only going to get 3, but it is significantly thicker and it has a little bit of a texture to it, so that makes it kind of nice for projects where you want to increase the bulk and the sturdiness of it. So this is kind of, I would say, more vintagey. a little bit more homespun. The colors are not quite as vibrant, and there are not large focal images to cut out, but I do think that this quality of paper is nice, and I do like plaids and all of these beautiful, kind of more traditional patterns on here. So I picked that up. This one started at $13.99, but it was also 40% off. I'm gonna just show these really quickly so I can get them off screen. I know that's a little bit shiny. They do have a really nice selection of foiled paper or metallics. I really like the kind from Hobby Lobby for die cutting. So if you have an intricate die cut, you're able to get this out of the die without damaging it. So maybe you're making frames or die cutting letters. So I really try to get a nice selection of these that are nice and thick quality. So I just got a very shiny traditional gold and then also a rose gold. Now here's those dies from the clearance section, and I would probably never purchase these dies at full price, even at what would be probably 40% off. Seems like everything at Hobby Lobby is always 40% off, but these were fairly deeply discounted, and so that made it a little bit easier to invest in them. Some of these I will be able to get use out of for projects that aren't holiday themed, so that does make me happy as well. But even just if I get a couple of cards out of it, I'll be pretty happy. This one is very cute and interactive if you choose to assemble it that way. And these pieces are not too little and fussy. There are also a couple of dies in here that you could use for other projects. So this one is really cute. It's a little deer from Spellbinders. This is the one that was from Tim Holtz. And although some of these patterns are Christmas themed, I think you could definitely use the mountain and the barn, maybe the tree, for making scene cards. So this would be pretty versatile if you wanted to get extra use out of it. This cloche had a stamp set included, and I always think that these are very versatile. You can make them for many different seasons or themes. It just happens to have some candles and some like holly or evergreen and small poinsettias. So you could make this in the theme, or they show the example, but also just having a cloche gives you an area where you can create a sort of scene card, and so you can stamp your image and then cut them out. It looks like you can also create a shaker with this larger portion if you wanted to use that as your border for your adhesive. So this one would work out well for an ornament if you like to make those as well. And then last but not least is just a very sweet little special pet delivery. Now this one has a dog and a cat that you can create. It also has a nice little doily type border, and then a couple of sentiments here that are not specifically holiday, so that is going to make them much more versatile. And then you can also assemble these without the accessories. So one of them has a hat and then one of them has antlers, but you could make any kind of card that you wanted and still use that sentiment, and it wouldn't necessarily have to be for holiday. In fact, I'm going to make Lexi a thank you card for taking me out, and I'm going to style the little dog like their dog Willow because she is extra cute. And so I think this is going to be another die that I can get a lot of extra use out of. So like I mentioned, our 12 Days of Christmas in July series is coming up. There's just really like a couple of months left to plan the projects and get the supplies that I need. So I'm really hoping that you will let me know in the comments what types of projects you're interested in seeing this year. So if it's a journal, or if it's a mini album, or cards, or sweet and simple projects, I would really love your feedback because that helps me to plan the series ahead because it does take quite a lot of work. And so I'm hoping that you will drop that in the comments and let me know what you're hoping to see for our series this year. So that's it for my small haul. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not already, I would love for you to join a crafty little family by hitting that subscribe button. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.